You're probably still using ChatGPT for everything and wondering why your grades aren't improving. I've spent the last 6 months testing dozens of AI study tools with real students, and what I found will completely change how you think about AI in education. The best tools aren't the ones everyone's talking about.
Welcome back to bitbiased.ai, where we do the research so you don't have to. Join our community of AI enthusiasts with our free weekly newsletter. Click the link in the description below to subscribe. You will get the key AI news, tools, and learning resources to stay ahead.
So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the 3 AI tools that are genuinely transforming how students learn in 2026. These aren't just fancy chatbots that summarize text for you. These are tools that teach you how to think, research, and organize knowledge in ways that actually stick. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which tools to use for different types of learning and why they're so much more effective than what you're probably using now. Let's start with the research tool that's making traditional study methods look completely outdated. The research revolution. Let's talk about Elicit, because this tool is fundamentally changing how students approach academic research, and most people have never even heard of it. This isn't just another search engine with a chat interface. Elicit is specifically designed to help you navigate academic literature in ways that would have been impossible just 2 years ago. The tool can analyze thousands of research papers simultaneously and extract key findings, methodologies, and conclusions that directly relate to your specific research question. Here's what makes this revolutionary in practice. Traditional research means spending hours scrolling through databases, reading abstracts, and trying to piece together connections between different studies. You might spend an entire afternoon just figuring out what the current consensus is on a topic, and even then you're not sure if you've missed something important. Elicit changes this entire dynamic by allowing you to ask specific research questions and get comprehensive answers backed by actual academic sources. But here's where it gets really interesting. The tool doesn't just find relevant papers. It extracts specific data points and findings from those papers and organizes them in ways that help you understand the bigger picture. You can ask questions like, what are the main factors that influence student retention in online courses, and get a structured breakdown of findings from dozens of studies, complete with effect sizes, sample sizes, and methodological notes. This level of research sophistication was previously only available to graduate students with extensive training in academic databases. What's particularly powerful is how Elicit helps you identify gaps in the research and potential areas for further investigation. Instead of just consuming existing knowledge, you start to see where the knowledge ends and where your own critical thinking needs to begin. The personalized tutor. Now let's dive into Khanmigo, because this represents something entirely different in the AI education space. While most AI tools try to give you answers, Khanmigo is designed specifically to help you find answers yourself through guided questioning and adaptive instruction. This is Khan Academy's attempt to create a truly personalized tutor, and the results are genuinely impressive. The key difference here is in the pedagogical approach. Instead of simply explaining concepts when you're stuck, Khanmigo asks you questions that guide you toward understanding. If you're working on a math problem and make an error, it doesn't just show you the correct answer. It identifies where your thinking went off track and asks targeted questions to help you recognize the mistake yourself. This is based on decades of research showing that discovery-based learning leads to much deeper retention than passive consumption of information. What makes this particularly effective is the adaptive nature of the instruction. The system tracks not just whether you get answers right or wrong, but how you approach problems, where you hesitate, and what types of mistakes you make consistently. Over time, it builds a detailed model of your learning patterns and adjusts its teaching approach accordingly. Some students need more visual explanations, others benefit from multiple practice problems, and still others learn best through real-world applications of abstract concepts. The conversational interface makes this feel natural rather than robotic. You can ask follow-up questions, request clarification, or even express frustration, and Khanmigo responds in ways that maintain engagement while keeping you moving forward. This addresses one of the biggest problems with traditional online learning: the isolation and lack of responsive feedback that leads so many students to give up when they encounter difficulties. Perhaps most importantly, Khanmigo is designed to build learning independence rather than dependence. The goal isn't to become a crutch that you rely on for answers, but to develop your problem-solving skills and conceptual understanding to the point where you can tackle new challenges on your own. The knowledge organization game changer. Notion AI represents the third piece of this educational transformation puzzle, and it's addressing a problem that most students don't even realize they have until they experience the solution. This isn't about generating content or answering questions. It's about organizing and connecting knowledge in ways that mirror how your brain actually works. Traditional note-taking is fundamentally broken for modern learning. You take notes in one class, create separate documents for different assignments, and maintain isolated study materials for each subject. Over time, you end up with fragmented knowledge that's difficult to synthesize or apply across different contexts. Notion AI changes this by helping you create interconnected knowledge systems that grow more valuable over time. Here's how this works in practice. As you're taking notes or working on assignments, Notion AI can automatically suggest connections to previous content you've created. It might notice that a concept from your psychology class relates to something you studied in your marketing course and suggest creating links between those ideas. This kind of cross-pollination of knowledge is exactly how expertise develops in real-world professional contexts. The AI also helps with knowledge retrieval and application. Instead of trying to remember where you wrote something down or what you learned about a particular topic, you can ask natural language questions and get specific answers drawn from your own accumulated knowledge base. This transforms your notes from static documents into a dynamic, searchable repository of interconnected insights. What's particularly powerful is how Notion AI helps with synthesis and analysis across multiple sources. You can ask it to identify themes across different courses, highlight contradictions in what you've learned, or suggest areas where your knowledge might be incomplete. This kind of metacognitive support helps you become a more strategic learner who thinks about learning itself as a skill to be developed. The template and automation features also eliminate much of the busy work that traditionally consumes student time. Instead of spending energy on formatting and organization, you can focus on the actual thinking and learning that moves you forward academically and professionally. The verdict. Here's what's really happening with these three tools. They're not just making studying more efficient, they're changing what it means to learn in a digital age. Elicit is transforming research from a scavenger hunt into a systematic investigation. Khanmigo is bringing the benefits of one-on-one tutoring to scale while building genuine understanding rather than superficial knowledge. And Notion AI is solving the knowledge fragmentation problem that has plagued students for decades. The key insight is that these tools succeed because they're designed with specific pedagogical principles in mind, rather than being general-purpose AI that happens to work for education. They understand that learning is fundamentally different from information retrieval or content generation. Learning requires struggle, connection-making, and gradual skill development. Things that most AI tools actually interfere with by making everything too easy. What excites me most is that these represent just the beginning of what's possible when AI is thoughtfully applied to education. We're moving beyond the era of AI as a replacement for thinking toward AI as a thinking partner that amplifies human intelligence rather than replacing it. The students who adopt these tools early and learn to use them effectively are going to have significant advantages, not just in their academic work, but in their professional development as lifelong learners. The future of learning is already here. It's just not evenly distributed yet. If you found this breakdown helpful, Let me know in the comments which of these tools you're most excited to try. And if you want more deep dives into how AI is changing education and work, make sure you're subscribed because this is just the beginning.